He became a robot? How do you just turn somebody into a robot? Imagine. Scott did that. Yeah, Scott definitely did that on purpose. Generic Control into that goes. We're back with some more Five Nights at Freddy's game theory videos. Today we have FNAF Sister Location, Follow the Eyes, one of them. I have absolutely no idea what this video is going to be about. It's going to be something about Sister Location, which I've never played because I've only ever played the first game. Thank you so much for the support you've shown all the series. I probably should make a playlist for the series going in chronological order of all the ones that I've reacted to going in order. Also, I'm not sure about this FNAF in 12 minutes, a brief history. Not sure if I should react to that one or the next one is A Killer's Promise with that weird looking face. It looks like it has a human face on, and I absolutely hate that. Thank you so much for the comments on last week's video. I read every single one of them and respond to a lot of them as well. Shout out to patrons. They give videos day early. Let them turn on paywall on the channel. You want to check out last week's video, which was Sister Location Decoded. I'll leave it right up there. I'll also link down below in the description. Hopefully it'll be in that playlist like I said it should be. I'll also be streaming my Pokemon Platinum today, Nuzlocke, at 5 p.m. today over on Twitch if you want to join for that. Last week, my level 40 Magmar got one-shotter from full health against a Scizor because it got like X/critted, and it went from full health to dead. Very, very unfortunate. It absolutely blew my mind. I just saw that there are eyes in the background of the thumbnail. I don't like that, but oh god, Five Nights at Freddy's. Like I said, I've only ever played the first game. Sister Location sounds terrifying, but let's go ahead and jump on into it. Also, like 75% of you are not subscribed, and Stupendium's Five Nights at Freddy's song about Sister Location, my reaction to that goes live tomorrow.
Just walk out in the morning, stepping over your corpses one by one. You are intruders. None of you will survive the night. And
Don't
what
that
makes
me with
you
a good
think they
time?
won't kill you? Because I am one of them.
What do you mean? Oh, there's the puppet. I like the puppet. Your eyes are
Hello, Internet!
Game Theory,
Welcome
the
to
smartest show in
Game
gaming.
Theory. Still available to consult on the FNAF movie's storyline. Seriously, Scott, I'll be waiting by the phone because I can practically
They still don't have that movie, do they?
collective hours of thought into counting animatronic toes, tracking eye colors, listing out the differences between pizzerias, diners, and rental services, parsing out your phone guy calls, and counting and recounting again the number of dead child carcasses left in your story's wake than literally anyone else out there. I mean,
Which is why you lost your mind.
To do the unthinkable for these Sister Location videos. That's right, I reread The Silver Eyes in an ironic twist that took longer than the actual game. Now, here I am piecing together this script after I kid not a weekend spent doing nothing but thinking about these games.
A weekend or a week?
Rewriting timeline after timeline to account for all the nonsensical Easter eggs shoved into this 4-hour experience. And you know the conclusion that I've reached.
Wait, the game's 4 hours?
Version of events isn't satisfying. That any theory I come up with that attempts to bend over backwards and cobble together every line of dialogue, design detail, and character motivation will be overcomplicated at best and inherently flawed at worst. And that's not me admitting defeat. It's a fundamental problem with the series right now. This one just tried too hard to do too many things. You've got elements
of the
what
was that the thing? That was all the different things, I guess.
The book, all of which at this point have
Kirby
canonicities, conflicting storylines, and competing dates. Couple that with characters that mimic other characters, characters that lie to you, and characters that may not even exist across the different story threads of the franchise.
Exactly.
It's unclear if this is a continuation of the books, if it's a continuation of the games, or just an outright reboot of some kind. The best analogy I can think of is that it's like the giant human glob you turn into at the end of Inside. A mass of limbs all struggling to work together to move in one direction, but all just flailing out randomly. And honestly,
I would say Inside by Bo Burnham, but this was out way before then.
With FNAF 4, we could have just said that Sister Location was aligned with the book and FNAF world to start paving the way for the movie. But then you couldn't help yourself, Scott. You just had to throw in those FNAF 4 Easter eggs, huh? And those put everything in chaos.
Easter eggs.
And it's not just
doesn't mean they're connected.
Based on what I'm reading online, a lot of FNAF theorists sense that the lore contained in Sister Location is a game changer, but then they don't exactly know why or what to do with it. Struggling under the weight of explaining away innards and
apparently this is when things get crazy.
Casual bongos and exotic butters. What's an Easter egg?
What?
What's a
exotic butters?
And what is actual canon? So understandably, there's some confusion about what's actually going on in this game, and that is what I'm out to solve.
Also, there's VHS tapes that are apparently fan made
definitively
and
put together
brutal.
which details matter.
I've never
and
seen
why this
Sister
is such a monumental
Sister Location
game for
gameplay,
the
so.
franchise's lore. So go ahead, keep your plots vague and convoluted, Scotty boy.
I don't
I'm
like
here to
the eyes.
translate your madness to the world. First off, who are we playing as? Historically, the protagonist of Freddy's games
is it a
very
kid?
degree of
I want to say it's a
importance. There are
kid.
those like Mike and Fritz who,
Because, like I said, I've already
were
reacted
just
to the
names with the
Stupendium.
sole purpose of
Sister
filling out
Location
the 2 line
song.
on a paycheck. Sure,
Go
they may have been
tomorrow.
retconned into some importance now, but they were never really intended to be that way.
No,
Then there was the
get out.
crying child of FNAF 4, hospitalized and trapped in a waking nightmare. Slightly more important, I would hazard to say. And the game
little
recognizes
bit.
this as, during your first encounter with the new animatronic baby, she calls
What it-
out,
It's a strange thing to want to do, to come
What-
here.
Why?
I'm curious what events would lead a person to want to spend their nights in a place like this.
Well, it's good to see someone other than Scott
Maybe
having voice lines.
curiosity, maybe ignorance.
answering
Both
the
can
question
kill you.
of who you play as in Sister Location is more important than any of the rest of the games in the franchise, since it practically dictates every other element of this story. Why you're there, what the ending
Why-
is,
yeah.
what this location
How many
stands
endings are
for,
there?
how this fits into the overall timeline. It's a big deal. Now, personally, based on the silhouette in the mirror, my first guess is to say that we're playing as Rick Astley, and Scott is just the
It
most
does.
elaborate Rick roll in history.
Imagine.
I mean, just look
Imagine.
at that hair. It's an exact match, and let's face it, Scott has proven that he's not above
Scott did
trolling
that.
us. But assuming
Yeah,
there's a little
Scott
bit more
definitely did
respect
that
for the
on
fan base
purpose,
than that, there can
I
only be
think.
one possible conclusion here. In Sister Location, we play as William Afton. Purple guy himself. And no, I'm not just
Oh?
saying that because the eyes in the ending are purple, like literally everyone
Oh, they
else
are?
on the internet's been saying. Sure, it's a nice detail
Wait,
that may
what?
hint at Scott's intentions, but it's not proof. For proof, we begin by turning
Who's
to the
that?
in-game dialogue. On your quest to unlock the game's fake ending,
Does it need to live here?
animatronics taunt you with these little bits of dialogue, spoken
Oh,
by
I
a
hate
young
that
girl
clock.
in a British-sounding accent.
I'm still here.
Isn't this
That-
why you came here? To be with her again?
So
With-
we know that whoever the player is has some sort of connection to this mysterious young girl. But who is she? Well, throughout the game, between fights, we hear the same girl pressing her father to let her play with Baby, saying things like,
Nope.
Daddy just once let me go play with her. She's so
Oh.
pretty and shiny. Didn't you make
Definitely
her
British.
just for me?
From that small snippet, we can not only tell that our character is her father, but that he's also in some way the
So,
creator.
wait,
or has some
okay,
level of
wait,
control
so,
over the animatronic.
is that
This in
girl
turn
dead?
narrows the field down by quite a bit to 2 men, William Afton and
Yeah.
Henry. No last name given. The 2 co-founders of
Maybe
Fazbear
Henry is
Entertainment
the
as
dude.
introduced in FNAF
'Cause he's the one that had Baby
By the
kill
way,
him, right?
Low blow, Scott, forcing people to read in order to have any sort of
Imagine
clue
knowing how to
what's going on in
read.
the franchise now. Because seriously, without reading the book, you would have no clue the importance of William Afton. Oh well, that's what I'm here for. I read it so you don't have to. Kind of like the Nostalgia Critic. Anyway,
Hey, I
basically,
react to Nostalgia
rollbacks
Critic every
and
single
William
Monday.
Afton similar dialect at the beginning
That's
of the game.
awesome.
She can dance. She can sing. She's equipped with a built-in helium tank for inflating balloons right at her fingertips.
I was gonna say, why would she
See,
need that?
as
But that
though
makes
we have
sense.
ourselves a
Make
match.
yourself lighter.
You are
The father. Why? Because they're British? There we go. Young child, old man, both
Let's
British.
look
You
at
are
Easter
now.
there, Maury. We can
you
be
are now
even
related.
more sure. In the game's real ending, you get yourself tricked, becoming animatronic fodder as the machines scoop out your internal organs and replace them with endoskeleton cords. Now, this really
nice.
bothered me, since it's like the antithesis of what we expect from our stories when we beat the game.
I'm sorry,
Here
did
I
you
am
say
wanting to finish my night and
anti-
return home to
What?
my
I thought it was
basket of
antithesis.
exotic butter, but no, that's reserved for the fake ending. Becoming a flesh suit is somehow canon to the series. I wanted to write it off as jumping the shark, like, hey, we're getting a little bit too absurd right now, but then I realized that this is a franchise built on haunted
Five Nights at
animatronics
Freddy's, but it's in
chasing you through a
Rapture.
pizza restaurant after they've been killed by a serial killer hiding in a mascot suit filled with killer springs. So, crossing the line of absurdity? Yeah, I think we're long past it at this
Yeah,
point.
we did,
Becoming a
yeah.
flesh suit is an oddly specific event to be integral to the lore, and yet there it is. So we're left with 2 options. Scott's either completely lost it at this point, or he has some other plans for this character. And indeed, he does. As
Does
the
anybody
novel
know,
once
like,
again shows us
Scott's,
why
like,
this
identity,
odd
like, what he
story
looks
turn
like
is so
or anything?
important. In its pages, we're
Like, does he
treated
do
to
any,
all
like,
sorts of
public
lines
events?
that make it clear Mr. Afton is the one who gets himself stuffed. Page 407. Quote, Charlie, there's something different about him. It was as if the guard, the man they had met, had been stripped away, and what sat before them was nothing but a blank canvas. End quote. And again, 2 pages later, quote, Dave is the fake name for William Afton in the novel. He's hiding out in another identity. Long story. Anyway, just go with it. Dave's body moved upward, straightening, but the movement was too smooth. He seemed to make no effort, use no muscles,
so he's a robot.
exert no energy. Dave's eyes opened steadily, glassy,
and they're purple,
without emotion, like the robots on the stage outside. End quote. And there
he
you
became a
have it.
robot? How do you just turn somebody into a robot?
Like the robots on the stage outside. In fact, the book makes a huge deal about Afton's eyes over and over again, like when
His
the character
eyes?
John describes seeing Afton kidnap his friends on pages 120 to 122.
I'm sorry, what? Why'd he kidnap
Quote,
his friends?
"The eyes, they were all I could see. They were dead, just dull and flat. Like they still moved and blinked and saw, but whatever was behind them had died
just
a
lifeless?
long time ago."
Yeah.
End quote. Died a long time ago, you say? Like perhaps in an underground murder bunker, doubling as a robotic distribution center, perhaps. Now, real quick,
What?
let's pause here and have some real talk to Ennard, Baby, and the gang. Guys, we're gonna have a bit of an intervention here. If your goal is to blend in with the outside world and look like us, look like any other human, choosing to go with the purple eyes is not gonna be helping your cause all that much. Artificial intelligence, more like artificial idiots. Do your homework. Humans don't tend to have purple eyes. I mean,
they typically
you have a
don't.
blue-eyed animatronic just waiting to go. Look, there's Foxy. He has brown/orange eyes. Great. Anyway, I digress. Who am I to judge?
Foxy.
Maybe we're all just left to assume that Afton walks around in those cool colored contacts. Anyway, it's not just the eyes that give away Afton as the animatronics meat puppet. His overall physicality has undergone a drastic change over the years as well.
What, does he not
On
have
page
hair?
418, we hear that Afton started off robust and lively, a hefty man who had the ruddy geniality of a financially shrewd Santa Claus. Financially shrewd Santa Claus, huh? No one said the writing of this book was any good. There's clearly a reason why only 500 people made it all the way through this book. And I say that because on
only
Amazon
500?
Kindle, they actually show you the most popular highlighted sections, and like they all drop off by midway through the book. So I can only assume that I'm the only person who made it all the way through.
Are the books bad?
For you. Anyway, soon after, our financially
he's done multiple.
Santa Claus is accused of murder. He's released due to no bodies being found, and then he skips town. However, when he comes back, he's a changed person. Quote, Afton had been fat and affable. The man in the picture was sallow and thin, his skin sagging, and his expression unpleasant.
So, like that other thumbnail.
Smile. He looked like a poor
For possibly the next video. Where I have like the face put on a robot.
He's not only lost a ton of weight, but he looks like a poor copy of himself. So that's us reading the subtext of these lines, but you don't even have to read between those lines. Afton tells us directly in the quote I used at the top of this episode. Quote, and what makes you think they won't kill you? John said again. Because
that face.
I'm one of them. Said. I mean, let's face it, it is hard to argue with that one. He is out
how do you respond to that?
An animatronic. Reading the book the first time, you all assume it's like, oh, he has a kindred spirit with these animatronics because he loves them so much.
No,
this is one, this and that. But oh no, after playing Sister Location, it takes on a whole new meaning. Now there are two major complaints against the Afton theory. One, that Baby's first lines are,
I don't recognize you. You are new.
And two, that none of it makes sense if Afton bleeds out in Springtrap in FNAF 3. But there's an easy answer for both of these situations. First, think back to the FNAF world ending, where Desk Guy, who in our last episode we established as Henry No Last Name Given, William Afton's partner in the Freddy Fazbear's franchise, confesses to building Baby. He's the creator,
and then Baby killed.
One Baby would be most familiar with, and not necessarily Afton. So Baby not recognizing Afton isn't all that much of a stretch. And regarding Purple Guy's
I could
death,
see that.
we see in the book that William is covered in scars. Scars left over from surviving one major round of Springtrap failures. Quote, Dave had been shirtless under the costume, and now his bare chest was clearly visible. His skin was horribly scarred, with raised white lines that scored his flesh in a symmetrical pattern. Each
symmetrical,
like
springs.
The other.
Like when a spring compresses, like his...
in a circle, giving Carlton ample time to see that the scars were everywhere. Also note
so it's
that
like the springs compressed.
Springtrap die in FNAF 3, just collapse into his own pool of blood and shiver there. The light never drains from his eyes. And Silver Eyes shows that it's not only possible, but that William has indeed survived a Springlock failure in the past. So could the
Why are there so many
FNAF 3
springs in
incident be
there?
the reason he has all those scars in the book?
Like seriously.
Absolutely. Also, according to the timelines, the events line up. All of the events of Silver Eyes take place in 1995, placing
Oh, 2 years before I was born.
Any events that we've seen in the games thus far, with the
Yes.
exception of Fazbear's Fright, which may have been a hallucinogenic dream sequence anyway. So all in all,
True.
cool story, bro.
Acid.
We play as Purple Guy
Taste
in
and colors.
Sister Location.
Thank you for selecting Casual Bongos.
But why? What does all this
Why
mean
would
for
you?
the plot of the
Is that like
game?
an Easter egg?
It actually explains a lot, but from here it also tends to get really complicated. Because now we're dipping into the FNAF 4
Play
surveillance
tic-tac-toe on
footage,
that
FNAF
forehead.
4 locations being tied to Sister Location, child experimentation, and the identities of Baby and Ennard. So instead of rushing my way
say
through
inner?
to get it all done in time,
Inner.
I'm gonna pause right here and hold all those explanations for the next episode. Now that we know who is playing the game, we need to know why
Yeah,
and
you could
how
definitely
it
play
affects the
tic-tac-toe on
rest
that
of the
forehead.
series as we
Look
know
at
it.
it.
So click that basket of exotic butter to subscribe. and
Exotic
be
butter. I've
informed
never
when the
put
next
butter
half
on
of this
anything in my
series
life.
comes out. And in the meantime,
There's
let's
the
look at
puppet.
these casual
Make it seem
bongos
much-
and do me a favor and vote. Sister Location, yay or nay? Was this the game that
I
you were
don't know.
waiting for, or did it end up under delivery?
What was the
Click on what
time
to choose,
release
and
on
I'll let
these?
you know next time how y'all voted. And
Oh,
in
imagine
the
that you could
meantime,
vote back
remember,
then.
It's
Yeah, now
all
YouTube doesn't let
just
you do
a
that.
Theory.
A game
theory.
theory.
Thanks for
Every time.
watching.
All right. So the next one, do I do 5 FNAF in 12 minutes, or do I do The Killer's Promise? And then I think this is another culture shock. I'm not sure which video I should do, because there's going to be some crazy ones coming up, because we are in the Sister Location, which apparently he did a ton of videos on. Which, I mean, he did talk about how much of a mess Sister Location, because of all the just everything colliding all together and becoming one big jumbled story. I have absolutely no idea. I'm flying completely blind here, so I definitely need your help. I read every single comment, so leave them down below. Like I said, I'll be streaming at 5 today, which is going to be really, really cool. But, so you play as Purple Guy. You play as William in this, right? Maybe that's just a theory. That might be wrong. I don't know. Apparently his theories get pretty good from here on out, but I'll definitely see about that in the future as the theories develop and go on and on. People will be like, why are you watching these? These are so out of date. I'm like, 'cause the journey. What do you mean? What do you mean? Start from the beginning and see how the story develops, and from somebody that's looking into every single detail of the game to see how their mind goes to those things and sees how they develop, you know? Like, what am I supposed to do? Play the first 5 minutes of Freddy game and then jump into the newest game theory video that explains everything? No. Just no. But, oh man, this location is very, very freaky. I do not like their eyes. Their eyes are nope. Like the eyes for this one, nope. And this one down here, that face, absolutely not. And before people have this theory that I'm afraid of clowns. Not afraid of clowns. At all. Never in my entire life have I had a fear of clowns. Okay? If I have to go and find a clown and go interact with that clown and take a picture and a video of me being best buddies with a clown, I will. I do not have a problem with clowns. I do not like freaky eyes like that. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. Hopefully made your day a little better. I hope you're subscribed. Like I said, 75% of you are not. So if you're not already, I would really, really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video and you want to see more from me, like I said, I should be making a playlist to put all these in. But I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Bunch on the next video. Take care, and cue the music.
We were